All right. Yeah, we'll talk. We are beginning our workshop for August 14th, 2018. I remind my colleagues to please silence all electronic devices at this time. First on the agenda is School Board Administrative Matters and Reports. First thing I'd like to let people know is that if you are having trouble with getting online with any of your iPads or computers, that there is a technology support person available in here somewhere. Just let somebody know there's someone here to help you. We will have 2 closed sessions this evening, one right after this workshop where we will discuss 2 matters, and one after the formal meeting when we will be discussing a personnel matter. And I'm going to be passing around the sign-up sheet for our school adoptions. It's coming. And because we're having this workshop in here instead of in the Einstein lab, the person on the end down here will have to get up and physically take it to the other end.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. McDonald is running late, and so he may miss part of this meeting. And Miss Manning indicated that she is running late, so she may have to miss. I think. Mrs. Weems is going to be signing for Mrs. Manning, correct? Choosing schools, and I will be signing choosing schools for Mr. McDonald. The board is being offered an opportunity to tour the Thorogood Elementary School Learning Village. So if you're interested in doing the tour, we need to decide this evening which one of 2 dates the most of us can attend. We'll have to choose just one of those dates. The 2 dates are Wednesday, August 29th from 3 to 5 p.m. or Friday, August 31st from 3 to 5 p.m. Is there anybody that would like to make a suggestion on those?
What was the first one? I'm sorry.
The first one is Wednesday, August 29th. Okay. From 3 to 5. They're both the same times, 3 to 5. And the other one is Friday, August 31st. My only suggestion is that it's to tour the Learning Village at Thorogood, at Hermitage Elementary, but it's really Thorogood.
Avoid the Friday, Wednesday. Not a good.
I agree.
Yeah, because there's a really good race that night at Mount Trashmore, Caitlin's Halo 5K.
So are we all in pretty much agreement that we're going to do?
I'm running.
So are we all in agreement that the Wednesday, August 29th would be the better date?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm assuming let Diane know if you plan to attend. I definitely will be there. How many of your, well, let's see. Another announcement I have is that there is a summer school graduation on Thursday at 6 o'clock. So if you have signed up to attend, we will not be wearing our gowns as we did on the June graduations, but they're asking people to please dress in business attire and to be there by 5:30. Okay. Does anyone else have anything to report to the board at this time? Mrs. Rye, didn't you have something?
So two quickies. The Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, want to give them a shout out. Mrs. Felton joined me in attending a scholarship celebration for our students back the end of June, and I'll just kind of send this down so you can all take a peek. But we of course appreciate any organization in this city that goes out of their way to recognize our students, and there was from each high school an academic winner and a community service winner. So it was a nice assortment. Thank you. And for those of us who attended the summer VSBA conference, it was our honor to accept on behalf of Virginia Beach City Public Schools this inaugural Virginia School Board Association Excellence in Workforce Readiness Award. And we placed second place. I will add it was ahead of Fairfax. And I did a little digging. This was for school divisions over 10,000 students, and I'm going to present this to Dr. Spence at the end of my remarks. But it was Dr. Pohl and his staff who put together the original application that our school board had approved months back, and it was specifically focused on high school career pathway internships for workforce readiness. So going back through it more carefully this time, it was just very interesting to see the internships that we do have in place now, very much tied to locally viable career pathways was the terminology used. I mean, from dental assistants to the steel company to Centera Health, a lot of auto body and auto sales force, Beechford Hall, Automotive Priority Auto. I have down here also some cybersecurity firms, including HR Cyber, and the Teachers for Tomorrow is mentioned, as well as computer technician assignments for some of our own students who were who acted as interns, and 6 of them were hired with job offers. So, if you want to go back in the archives, Diane or I can help you with that. So again, thank you to staff and to Dr. Pohl for putting this all together, and it's quite an honor. So I'll pass this down to Dr. Spence.
Mrs. Melnick?
I just wanted to say kudos to the division on the successful launch of the new app. It is amazing. It's everything you want to know, need to know at your fingertips. And I've already gotten my first notification, so it's it's really incredible. Good work to everybody.
Mrs. Riggs?
I know that back in the spring, Carolyn, Ryan, it might have been late winter, went to the Bronx Center, and she asked me if I would just make sure that people know that you can apply online for any of their upcoming fall classes. For the Chesapeake Bay Foundation Environmental Education Program, and you can apply online at cbf.org/apply, or you can call their number. So they have some great field experiences on boats and canoeing and just all kinds of things. So I have the information if you need it, and it's right online as well.
Okay. Mrs. Felton?
I'd just like to say that I would like to take this opportunity to announce that along with Dr. Spence and myself, we attended the Horizon Hampton Road summer program, graduation program. It was excellent, and it builds a curriculum around the Virginia Beach City curriculum and the STEM program as well. One thing that I really loved about it was it's a generational program. The students start out from kindergarten through 12th grade, and they start out as students, and some come back as interns to work, and some come back as teachers to work in the program as well. I would encourage my colleagues next year to get out and be a part of this program. It's called the Horizon Hampton Roads Summer Program, and it is excellent. It's doing a great collaboration with our schools, especially getting the children back in reading and math.
Okay, are there any other reports? Thank you. Dr. Spence, we are ready to begin the workshop on professional learning focus areas for 2018-2019.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. And so in just a moment, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Dr. Janine Gorham to kick us off. Before I do, I'm just going to take a moment to acknowledge, and I know she'll have him as a part of the presentation, but her co-director over in the Office of Professional Growth and Innovation, Director currently for Administrative Leadership and Learning, Dr. Thomas Farrell. Many of you have gotten to know him since he's been here with the division, really growing and developing our leadership development program for both aspiring administrators, aspiring principals, and then current and sitting principals. And recently, I think this week, he was officially approved in Henrico County as the next executive director or director for high schools, and he will be moving up there to be a principal supervisor in Henrico County. So congratulations, Dr. Farrell. And I will turn it over to you, Dr. Gorham.
Good afternoon, Chairwoman Anderson, members of the board, and Dr. Spence. I am Janine Gorham, Director of Teacher Learning and Leadership, and I'm happy to be here this afternoon to provide an overview of professional learning focus areas for the 2018-19 school year. Much of this professional learning is already underway and will continue throughout the school year. In this session, we will share the major focus areas that teachers and administrators are engaging in, and the pathways they are engaging in to support these areas. We will also provide highlights of teachers' essential professional learning requirements. This year's professional learning focus areas are directly aligned to the strategic action agenda that you received at last month's school board retreat. As you recall, these actions represent the work with which schools will be engaging to further progress towards the goals of Compass to 2020. Throughout this presentation, we will share how we are supporting the implementation of these items through targeted professional learning designed to build capacity for both teachers and administrators. This capacity building begins at the individual level with optional summer professional learning sessions, a highlight of which is our Digital Learning Summer Summit, a conference organized by the Office of Instructional Technology for teachers by teachers. At this conference, teachers and administrators engage in sessions focusing on using digital tools to support student agency, innovation, and learning by all. Implementing Schoology, the learning management system, is a strategic action item that has also been the focus of summer professional learning for schools that are new to Schoology this year. Select teachers have attended in-depth training to become Schoology champions, leaders who will serve as resources for their peers. In addition, all teachers have been invited to participate in the online overview, an introduction to Schoology functionality. With this foundation and leadership from the instructional technology specialist and Schoology champions, professional learning will continue at the school sites throughout the year. There will also be ongoing support meetings for administrators and champions. It is noteworthy to also recognize that while Schoology has been the focus of professional learning session, it is also the platform for other professional learning, such as the essential sessions for curriculum updates, providing teachers additional exposure and an opportunity to practice skills from the student perspective. A major event of our summer professional learning calendar was the recent Administrators Conference. Learning at this event was intensified and strengthened by participation of school-based teams who focused on developing plans for the school year. School administrators and up to 5 teachers from each school attended the conference, which connected the strategic actions under the theme of Transforming Tomorrow, All Students Future Ready. Sessions focused on the strategic action agenda with emphasis on the dispositions of transformational learning, the academic and career planning process, the school division's graduate profile, special education, culturally responsive practices, and using the formative process within the teacher evaluation system to guide plans for professional growth. This work in the summer lays the groundwork for schools planning for professional learning during the year. Along with the focus on the strategic actions, professional learning this summer has also been targeted to help teachers acquire essential skills and knowledge to prepare for the upcoming school year. As you might recall from the May 8th workshop on the redefined professional learning program, teachers no longer have an annual point requirement, but are still required to attend essential professional learning to stay current in curricular and program requirements and responsive to the needs of their students and schools. The next part of our presentation will share highlights of those essential sessions. The elementary essential sessions are packed with curriculum updates and continued support with Schoology. Pre-K teachers will have quarterly professional development with a focus on emotional support, instructional support, and classroom management to enhance the classroom climate. During the full-day kindergarten essential sessions, they will focus quarterly on the implementation of the full-day kindergarten curriculum, instructional design and delivery, and approaches to inquiry-based learning opportunities. Beginning in September, an online K-5 computational fluency essential session will be offered. BBCPS has adopted the VDOE's definition of computational fluency to mean a student will demonstrate their mastery of facts by having flexible, efficient, appropriate, and accurate methods of computing. This essential session will guide conversations during PLCs with the support of math specialists and teaching and learning instructional specialists. Teachers will post responses online using Schoology as a learning platform. All elementary content areas teamed up to offer essential sessions on curricular updates that included new content for mathematics. This is the first year of the full implementation of the 2016 standards. Updates have been made to align to the state framework and embed the process standards and 5Cs into the curriculum. In addition, math is leveraging technology and connecting across content areas. Language arts is entering a crosswalk year. Crosswalk objectives have been created based on the 2017 standards. Crosswalk objectives will be taught and assessed, but not entered into Synergy. A small group site in Schoology was created to support teacher implementation of differentiated small group reading, writing, and word study. Language arts will continue to integrate through the inquiry process and content integration lessons. In science and social studies, all grade levels have revised objectives and pacing in order to refine alignment with state standards. A pacing guide and quarterly skills focus has been created to support teachers with these changes. These essential sessions were offered both face-to-face and online through Schoology to honor teachers' personal learning styles and preferences. As you will notice, the core content areas in middle and high school had essential sessions specific to their discipline. These sessions were mainly offered online and self-paced through Schoology. Teachers were also given options for assistance in using the new platform as they were learning their new material. Performance assessments continue to be built into the social studies curriculum, and expectations are set for their use in a balanced assessment system. Therefore, in addition to standards updates, social studies teachers are getting additional information on the implementation and use of performance-based assessments. Additionally, teachers of high school core social studies courses had an essential session based on classroom and context, CLIC, resources provided by Gale. The math offerings were based solely on standard updates and curriculum changes within Schoology. While the English offerings were similar, teachers were also required to complete a section on culturally responsive practices to assist with integrating sensitive topics within various reading materials. English teachers also had a section on teaching adolescent writers to assist with students who are struggling with writing. Our physics teachers participated in a session with PASCO. Before you start trying to guess what that acronym stands for, it's just the name of the company. This new program for physics teachers is funded through a grant from the Office of Naval Research and provides class equipment and textbooks for all physics teachers. This is a 3-year rollout, and each summer teachers will return for training to learn new skills and receive additional sets of equipment. Prior to applying for the grant, all physics teachers agreed to the professional development and are excited to receive the equipment as well as the opportunity for free traditional and online textbooks. Finally, our science teachers who completed learning experiences through the Chesapeake Bay Foundation and the Lynnhaven River Now project designed professional learning activities for our secondary science teachers on meaningful watershed experiences. This culminating activity to our multi-year grant and partnership with the CBF will help spread the learning opportunities to all teachers, placing an emphasis on teaching students to be good stewards of the environment. Special education essential sessions will focus on the development and implementation of academic and behavioral goals, addressing the disability-related needs of students through specially designed instruction. Designing and delivering specially designed instruction, which address skill deficit areas, will promote growth towards goals and improve outcomes. Essential sessions will also focus on aligning data collection methods to academic and behavioral goals to ensure teachers are accurately monitoring progress to make informed instructional and service decisions. This has been an overview of the major essential sessions provided this summer. Now, Dr. Farrell, Director of Administrator Learning and Leadership, will share some of the plans specific to administrators.
Thank you. As shared by Dr. Gorham, professional learning for administrators began with the Administrators Conference. Administrators engaged with a multitude of topics focused on creating future-ready students to innovative school practices. Administrators will continue to engage in professional learning focused on strategic actions through monthly league meetings for principals and citywide meetings for principals and assistant principals. Assistant principals will also have opportunities to engage in deeper learning through the assistant principal pathways. The following pathways will be offered for the 2018-2019 school year: examination of personal culture, shared leadership, mining the data, and professional learning. While this presentation focused on administrator and teacher professional learning, we wanted to take this opportunity to share that we are continuing to actively support a culture of growth and excellence for all staff. For example, one highlight this summer is an online book study for office professionals that will continue to be offered throughout the school year. This year, we will continue to provide technology training for all support staff and leadership and management training to custodians and cafeteria staff who aspire to leadership positions, as well as a new leadership development program for school plan employees. We continue to offer online opportunities to develop communication, productivity, and time management skills year-round. Thank you for this opportunity to share some of the professional learning opportunities available to staff. At this time, Drs. Pohl, Hughes, Myers-Daub, Gorham, and I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have one particular question. You use the word crosswalk for language arts. Can you explain that a little bit and more in depth, please? I didn't quite understand. You were talking about kindergarten at the time.
Well, so when the state adopts new standards, we have a crosswalk year where we can roll out the new standards to teachers, and then teachers are able to grapple with those new standards for a year before they're actually assessed.
Okay.
So this past year was a crosswalk year for math. So we had the new standards, we embedded them in the curriculum, the teachers taught them, but they weren't really assessed.
I see.
So it gave them a year to, play around with the standards and really dig deeply and have a deep understanding. And so that's what we call a crosswalk year.
Okay.
So we were in a crosswalk year for math this past year. This year we'll be in a crosswalk year for language arts. So every time the state adopts new standards, that's how we do it.
Was there a huge difference in the changes made?
There was not a huge difference. There was not. And we, carefully lay that out for the teachers and make sure that they understand what things were added. And in some cases, standards are deleted as well. So it
Right.
really evens out most of the time.
And this is for all-day kindergarten as well as half-day kindergarten, right?
It was for all, it's for a particular subject area. So when the state updates math standard, it's for K-12. So,
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Rye.
So I think this is a Dr. Gorham question. If you could just clarify for me again, these essential sessions, it sounds like it's a mix of in-person, online, depending on whatever.
If it was possible to offer it online, I know that they gave teachers a choice, and there are some things that might be better doing face-to-face, like the physics professional learning. So some may depend on the content and what would be best. But I do know that we worked hard to give teachers a choice where possible.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, that went quickly. Mr. Edwards, would you please read the motion for us to go into closed?
I will, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Not working. Cool. Madam Chair, I move that the school board adopt a motion to recess into closed meeting pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711, Part A, paragraphs 1 and 3 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended for personnel matters, discussion, consideration, or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A1, namely to discuss personnel appointments and reassignments. Real property, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for public purposes or the disposition of publicly held property, where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A3, namely to discuss contract negotiations for capital improvement projects.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Williams has seconded. The voting board is open.
I'll be abstaining from the second half of that, so.
Actually, it'll be the first half of that. Okay, we will recess and reconvene in room 113 in about 5 minutes. Mrs. Holtz.